Everest sounds really awesome. Everest in the Bing Lounge. Whenever I see your name anywhere in print, it usually is right next to, hardworking and in it for the long haul. And I thought that's what rock and roll was all about. Lifers, yeah. Yeah, and you've all, have been at it. But I wanted to talk a little bit about Russell, about the work part of it. Going back to 2007 when you put an album together in like 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And you guys didn't really know each other that well. You hadn't played that much together yet.
Yeah, we've definitely grown since then. We had this idea as a collective that we wanted to play together, but we really didn't have a plan. And so we got together, and I think really the first time that we really played together or rehearsed as the five of us was in the studio, with the idea of making a record. So it worked out, it was cool. It was a really magical thing for us to get together. We were all in different bands at the time, and knew each other from previous tours, being in different bands and knowing each other as road mates, tour mates. And it was just a really cool moment in time where none of us were busy and weren't up to much and wanted to keep playing music, so we found each other and put the band together, and it's been great.
Yeah, and then Neil Young hears it and thinks it's really great. Yeah. That's like a dream.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. It doesn't happen every day.
No, I mean, it seems like that must have been kind of life-changing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is a guy where, we've been putting on his records as fans forever, and I remember when I discovered Neil Young for myself, how cool I thought he was in his music and how honest his songwriting and his lyrics, and just don't think he's one that would really fib or tell you that he's into you if he wasn't, So it was a huge compliment. The guy's got a lot of integrity, and it's cool to have somebody like that give you a pat on the back and try to help you out.
So now, several years later, last year, you finally get around to putting out this new album, On Approach, which you had seemed like the luxury of time, to work on it. What was different? What did you, plus the fact that you guys have been playing together for a while now, so.
Yeah, well, we were on the road with Neil a lot before we made that record, and we were writing a lot of the songs for On Approach while we were on tour with him. And I think, that was a rough time for us. We really got to know each other a lot better as musicians and what we do on stage, but I think we were still figuring out a dynamic as far as what all of our goals were as individuals and how we wanted to make a record as a collective. And we learned a lot about each other, and it was a tough experience, but in the end, when we listened back to that record for the first time on vinyl, I think all of us knew that we had done something cool and we all agreed on. So it took a while. It was about a 3-month process to make that record.
So my sense is it's kind of like a record, as in the old vinyl days where you had to flip it over, and there's sort of a feeling that, you can't just listen to one song and you're done.
The funny thing is, the first time we listened to it too, Jim and Bo, on vinyl in Russell's living room, Jim and Bo from My Morning Jacket were there with us when we got the test pressing and put it on. So, and we're out on tour with those guys now. So it's kind of funny how things have come full circle.
And speaking of My Morning Jacket, and you're going to be opening them up for them tomorrow, and it's going to be beautiful weather. I just know it.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. My feeling is that you are so musical, in what you guys do, and they are. I've got to think it's just got to be heaven in between, on the road. Please tell me that you get together and exchange musical ideas and, that kind of thing.
What we do, we just love those guys. I mean, it's just a very natural friendship that we've made. And I've known Jim since he was a junior in high school, I think, in Kentucky. And so we remained friends. And then the rest of the guys in the band, we've all become really, really tight with the rest of the guys in My Morning Jacket. And we're just on the same page. And I think the best memory that we could possibly have with them is walking through Paris all day and taking in 2 huge museums the Eiffel Tower and then having a full French meal with those guys. And it's like a memory that I personally will never forget how stinky the cheese was. And Kyle almost threw up after eating the appetizer. It was like what was it?
Escargot.
Carl. Bo and Carl both were gagging. I think it was a snail at the bottom of a
yeah.
lemon infused. It was a mussel at the bottom of a lemon infused like coffee. Mushroom phone. So yeah, there was the gag reflex on those guys was really solid. Yeah.
So so it sounds like it's really friends, and also for you, it's family because you are with Chandra from the Watson twins. So
yeah, and they were just in here.
Yes, they were. Yeah, so it's really great to have the vibe. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us.
Let's get back to some of that Everest music in the Bing Lounge. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks.